us all together. Lord, we gather in your name as children of a sovereign God. Forever we proclaim, to God be all glory.
Well, good morning. How you doing? It is Monday, April 27th, 2026. Welcome to episode 667 of The Thinking Theologian as we continue our journey through the scripture. So today we read 1 Chronicles chapter 6. The title is Biblical Corporate Worship Matters More Than You Know. I could come up with a better title than that. Local scriptures are 1 Chronicles chapter 6, verse 32. And this is what it says. It says, they ministered with song in front of the tabernacle, the tent of meeting, until Solomon built the Lord's temple in Jerusalem. And they performed their task according to the regulations given to them. So I think people underestimate the importance of corporate worship in the local church setting. Too many times, the local body gathers together and sings songs that do not elevate Christ or involve the members of the local congregation. I know this topic is extremely controversial, and my intention is not to cause division or arguments. I intend to get to the heart of worship for the individual and for the church gathering. If we truly believe that worship is important, then what we sing is also important. In today's reading, we see that music was used as a ministry. It happened in front of the tabernacle and the tent of meeting until the temple was built, the permanent temple. These music leaders followed the regulations given to them to ensure biblical worship in their happened in their corporate settings. When they all gathered together, it's a certain way worship was going to take place. So the question must be asked: are we following any regulations when it comes to corporate worship in our setting? I would argue that we do not have high standards when it comes to the music that is sung or put in front of the people. That's my argument. I think some churches do. I think sometimes it is more about what is, I'll get in a second, that we do what is easy instead of what is right when it comes to worship in our churches. Now, before you say that I'm being too nitpicky or over the top, think about how much power music has on us as people. Songs create deep emotions and can bring back many memories that have been forgotten. Even music that you don't listen to can stick with you because of a movie or another life event. You hear something in the background, it brings up things. This is why music is so emotional at funerals and at weddings, because it stirs things up as you're going through it and you're thinking about what those songs mean in context. Even if the song didn't mean anything, it's the memory that's attached to it. So how much more does music stick with us when we are gathered together to worship the Lord? Certain songs that we're together and how we worship the Lord together as a corporate body of believers truly does matter. And so my biggest struggles with corporate worship today happen for the following reasons. One, music is chosen because it's popular, not biblical. Hey, it's on the radio, people are hearing it, so we must sing it together as corporate worship. A lot of problems with that. Music is chosen because it focuses on us as individuals, not on God. Hey, God, this is what I want you to do for me, not because I'm singing this because of who you are. Music is chosen from writers that we would never allow to preach in our pulpits, but we encourage them to infiltrate our members' thinking all day, every day, by promoting their music. So we wouldn't let certain individuals come in our churches and speak, have a platform and preach, but yet they write the music that we sing in our churches, and we don't have a problem with that. If they can't speak and preach at our churches, then the music they write should not be allowed to be sung in our churches either, because their theology is their theology. And so then, finally, number 4, music is chosen because it can draw a crowd, not because it can bring glory to the Lord. So we'll play certain types of music because we think it's going to make us more popular in our context. And so I spend a lot of time, I spend a long time watching people at church when songs are being sung. I probably look like a weirdo. Every time the songs that are biblical and focus on the Lord are sung by both young and old believers, these songs can be hundreds of years old, or they can be contemporary. No matter the age, they encourage corporate worship. So what I'm saying is that every time the songs that are biblical and focus on the Lord are sung by both young and old believers, these songs can be hundreds of years old, or they can be contemporary. So it truly does change how we view things. It is, as long as they're biblical, people sing them more. That's what I'm trying to say. I may not be saying that right the first time. The more biblical they are, the more people will sing them, and the more people, the whole church gathers together to sing them. So I challenge you today to think long and hard about the music you listen to individually and during the church service. Just because it's popular doesn't mean it's biblical. A good rule of thumb to follow for music is this. In our churches. If the person or group writing it wouldn't be allowed to have a platform at your church speaking, then you shouldn't sing their songs every week. Even in your personal life, even on the radio, we should avoid people that we wouldn't trust to teach us the word, because these people are teaching theology through their music. And it is important that we have right theology, not only in our church services, but also in our music and our corporate worship. So it is time we encourage corporate worship that is biblical, not popular. God wants to be worshiped in spirit and truth, not because of popularity. He wants to do a work in us as believers, and music is a main way that this happens, but that music should focus on the Lord and not on us as individuals. It's not about what we need during corporate worship. During private worship, you might have a little more leeway about saying, God, I need this to happen in my life. These things are going on. Corporate worship is about the body as a whole, bringing us all together to focus on the glory of the Lord. And when that happens, that's when churches are healthy. And ultimately, this falls on the feet of the leader of the church, because the leader of the church, the pastor or pastors, should set the tone for what biblical corporate worship looks like. So tomorrow we will be in Psalms 81, 88, and 92 through 93. Thanks for being here today. Have a good day. And I will see you then. Goodbye.